Welcome, dear listener, and allow yourself to settle into this quiet moment. Wherever you are, let the outside world slowly fade away. Loosen your shoulders, soften your breathing, and give yourself permission to rest tonight. You are not rushing anywhere. You are safe, you are warm, and you are about to step into a gentle winter story. One that unfolds slowly like falling snow. This is the beginning of Why Is This Castle Glowing in the Snow? And in this first part, we will drift together into the silent valley where the story begins. Now imagine the night growing calm around you, and let the story carry you gently forward far beyond the last curve of the village road, where human footsteps slowly disappear and the sounds of daily life dissolve into stillness. There lies a wide open valley shaped by time. And winter, the valley rests beneath a vast quiet sky where clouds move lazily and stars shimmer faintly as if they too are growing sleepy snow blankets. The ground in smooth untouched layers, softening every edge, every sound. Every memory of noise. Tall pine trees stand like silent guardians along the valley's edges, their branches heavy with snow bowing slightly under its gentle weight. The air here is crisp and clean, carrying the faint scent of frost and evergreen. And each breath feels slow, deep, and calming in the very heart of this valley. Rising gently from the snow-covered earth stands an ancient castle. It is not the kind of castle spoken of in loud legends or heroic songs. It does not boast banners or trumpet calls or crowds of people. Instead, it exists quietly, patiently, as though it has learned the art of stillness. Its stone walls are tall and strong, yet softened by age and winter, their edges rounded by centuries of snowfall. And when snow gathers along the ledges and towers resting there like a white crown, while icicles hang in delicate rows, catching faint moonlight and glowing softly. In the dark, the castle seems almost asleep, breathing slowly in rhythm with the night most evenings. It blends perfectly into the darkness, becoming just another shape beneath the stars. But tonight, something is different. High above the valley floor, near the top of one of the castle's tallest towers, a single window begins to glow. At first, the light is barely noticeable, like the memory of warmth rather than warmth itself. It does not flash or sparkle. It does not demand attention. It simply appears soft and steady, a gentle golden glow. Pressing quietly against the glass, snowflakes drift past the window, and as they pass through the light, they shimmer briefly. As though touched by something kind, the glow feels warm, even from a distance, not in temperature, but in spirit, like the comfort of a candle. Seen from across a room on a winter night, the valley remains silent. Yet the presence of the light changes everything. The darkness no longer feels empty. It feels held. The snow-covered ground reflects the glow, faintly turning patches of white into soft gold shadows. Stretch slowly and peacefully, never sharp, never frightening. The light does not reach everywhere, and it does not need to. It exists simply to be there, steady and calm, as if the castle itself has chosen to keep watch over the night. No footsteps echo in the valley, no voices break the silence. Even the wind seems to move more gently now, brushing across the snow rather than cutting through it. Somewhere beneath the snow, the earth rests. Beneath the frozen surface of a nearby stream, water sleeps. The entire world seems to pause, listening to the quiet hum of this glowing window. Long ago, people may have wondered about the castle. They may have asked who lived there, or why it was built, or what secrets its walls contained. But tonight, no questions rise. Curiosity melts into calm. The glow does not invite investigation. It invites rest. It suggests that whatever mystery lies within the castle is a peaceful one, meant not to be solved, but to be felt. The castle stands firm and unmoving, yet it feels alive in a subtle way. like a gentle presence standing nearby offering reassurance without words. The light continues to glow unwavering as though it has always been there, and always will be. Time stretches and softens in the valley minutes, becoming indistinguishable from moments. Snow continues to fall in slow, graceful patterns, each flake unique, each one landing silently, adding to the quiet beauty of the scene. The sky above seems deeper, now wider, as if it has opened itself to the stillness below. And as you imagine this place, as you see the glowing window in the snow-covered castle resting in the valley, you may notice your own breathing becoming slower, smoother, more relaxed. Your thoughts begin to quiet. Just like the valley, there is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to remember, nothing you need to worry about. The castle does not glow for attention or praise, it glows simply because the night is here, and the night deserves gentleness. This is how the story begins, not with action or noise, but with stillness, warmth, and quiet wonder. The silent winter valley holds the glowing castle carefully, and the glowing castle in return holds the night in peaceful light. And as this first part gently comes to rest, the glow remains steady and calm, waiting patiently for the story to continue, just as you are now gently drifting safely into the next part of the dream. As the gentle stillness of the valley continues from where the first part came to rest, the soft golden glow remains steady in the high window of the castle, quietly holding the night in its warmth. The snow keeps falling in slow, unhurried patterns, and the world feels suspended in a peaceful pause, as though nothing exists beyond this moment. From here we drift inward, moving slowly and calmly beyond the stone walls into the heart of the castle itself, where the reason for the glowing window begins to reveal itself, not through sudden discovery, but through gentle understanding. Inside the castle, the air feels different from the cold valley outside. It is warm, not in a sharp or overwhelming way, but in the comforting way of a room that has been waiting patiently for someone to arrive. The stone floors are smooth and quiet beneath an unseen layer of soft woven rugs. Their muted colors faded by time, but rich with calm. Each step inside the castle would make no sound at all, as if the walls themselves wished to preserve the silence. Long hallways stretch gently forward, curving and branching like slow-moving streams, guiding rather than confusing, inviting rather than hiding. The walls are lined with old tapestries and paintings, their images softened by age, depicting peaceful scenes rather than battles or triumphs. There are forests under starlight, boats drifting on still lakes, distant mountains resting beneath clouds, and warm windows glowing in winter nights, much like the one shining now. The castle does not feel abandoned. It feels cared for, as though time has simply learned to move more slowly here at the center of the upper tower, beyond a narrow spiral staircase worn smooth by centuries of gentle passage, lies a small, quiet room. This room belongs to the glowing window. The window is tall and arched, its glass slightly imperfect, bending the light just enough to soften it before it reaches the snowy valley outside. Just inside the room stands the source of the glow, an ancient window projector. Unlike anything powered by flame or wire or modern design, it is crafted from polished wood and brushed metal, its surface etched with subtle symbols that seem to shift softly when the light passes over them. The projector rests on a low table, humming quietly, not with sound, but with presence. It does not demand attention, yet it feels important, like a heart beating steadily in a sleeping body. This projector does not shine light randomly. It releases gentle images into the night, slow and deliberate, like thoughts drifting through a dreaming. Mind's soft shapes move within the glow, barely visible unless one looks carefully. There are stars that seem to float just beyond the glass clouds that drift without wind. and lantern-like orbs that rise slowly and fade before reaching the sky. These images are not meant to be watched closely or understood, they are meant to be felt. They soothe the eyes, calm the mind, and ease the restless corners of thought. Long ago, when travelers still crossed the valley, they would see this glowing window from far away. After long journeys through cold and darkness, the sight of the light would ease their tired bodies. Before they even reached shelter there, steps would slow, their shoulders would relax some, would camp beneath the open sky, resting simply because the light made them feel safe. They never knew why they slept more deeply on those nights, or why their dreams felt softer and kinder. They only knew that when morning came, they felt lighter, as though the night itself had cared for them, though those travelers are gone now. The projector has not forgotten them. It continues its work faithfully, glowing night after night. Guided by a quiet purpose, woven into its very design, it is powered by memories. Not memories of sorrow or longing, but memories of calm moments, gentle nights, and peaceful rest. Each time the projector glows, it draws from all the nights it has watched over, all the breaths, it has slowed all the dreams. It has softened. Tonight the glow feels especially full, as though the projector senses the deep stillness of the world and responds by offering even more gentleness in return. The light never flickers or fades unexpectedly. It remains steady, reliable, like a promise. That does not need words. The castle around the room responds to this glow in subtle ways. The stones seem warmer, the shadows soften, even the corners of the room feel open and kind outside the window. The snow continues to fall, each flake briefly catching the projected light, turning into a tiny drifting spark. Before settling quietly into the valley below, the projector releases its images. Slowly, never rushing, never repeating too quickly, allowing the night to absorb them fully. There is no urgency here. Time stretches and loosens, and the world seems to breathe in time, with the gentle rhythm of the light somewhere deeper in the castle, unseen, but always present the quiet mechanisms that support the projector continue their slow, patient work. They require no adjustment, no command, no maintenance in the way ordinary machines do. They respond only to the night itself, glowing brighter when the darkness feels heavy, softening when the world feels ready to rest. The castle has learned the language of night, and the projector speaks it fluently. The glow reaches beyond stone and snow, touching the valley in ways that cannot be measured. Animals sleeping beneath the trees rest more deeply. The frozen stream holds its silence more gently. The sky seems wider, more open, as if it too is receiving the calm offered by the glowing window. Nothing is forced, nothing is changed. Suddenly, the light does not seek to control the night. It simply accompanies it, walking beside it like a quiet friend. And as this second part gently unfolds, the purpose of the glowing window becomes clearer, not as a mystery to be solved, but as a presence to be accepted. The castle glows because the night exists, because rest is needed, because silence deserves warmth. The projector continues its steady work, releasing calm into the snow-filled air, holding the valley in peaceful light. And as you remain with this image, breathing slowly, feeling the steadiness of the glow, you may sense yourself drifting deeper into relaxation, carried forward by the same quiet force that keeps the castle glowing, guiding you gently toward the next part of the story, where the unseen keeper of this peaceful light begins to reveal itself. As the gentle glow from the projector continues its steady rhythm, from where the second part softly settled, something deeper within the castle begins to stir, not with sound or movement, but with awareness. As though the castle itself has taken a slow, thoughtful breath, the light remains calm, and unwavering in the high window, spreading its warmth into the snowy valley. Yet now there's a subtle sense that the glow is being guided, cared for, and watched over by a presence that has always been there patiently and quietly waiting for the right moment to be felt. This presence is known as the keeper of quiet dreams, though no name is ever spoken aloud within the castle walls, and no voice announces its arrival. The keeper does not walk as humans walk, nor does it move from place to place in any way that can be easily followed. Instead, it exists gently within the castle, woven into its stones. Its air, its silence. The keeper is not seen with eyes, but sensed in the way the light softens when the night grows heavy, and in the way the castle seems to lean inward, as if listening closely to the sleeping world beyond its walls. The keeper's purpose is simple and endless: to protect, rest, to guard dreams, and to ensure that the glow from the window remains perfectly balanced, never disturbing the night, only supporting it long before the castle learns stillness, before snow softened its edges and time slowed its breath. The keeper was already there, guiding its purpose quietly, patiently, without ever needing recognition. Within the upper tower, the keeper drifts near the projector, not touching it, not adjusting it with hands, but tuning it through intention alone. The projector responds instantly, like an instrument that knows its musician by heart. When the wind outside grows sharper and the cold deepens, the keeper encourages the light to grow warmer, just enough to bring comfort without brightness. When the valley feels safe and settled, the keeper allows the glow to soften, becoming more subtle, more dream-like, as if inviting sleep to take the final step on its own. The keeper listens constantly, not only to the valley, but to the wider world beyond it, to distant forests, frozen rivers, quiet villages, and countless unseen places where rest is needed. Every breath taken in sleep, every sigh released in relief, every dream drifting gently through the night sends a quiet signal, and the keeper receives them all. The castle becomes a meeting place for these signals, a quiet center where they gather and are answered with calm. The keeper does not judge which dreams are worthy or which rest is deserved. It responds to all with the same gentle care, offering balance where there is restlessness and silence where there is noise. As the keeper glides through the halls, the castle seems to respond instinctively. Shadows adjust themselves, corners soften, and even the air feels smoother, as though resistance itself has been gently removed. The old tapestries and paintings lining the walls appear to rest more deeply, their scenes glowing faintly in the reflected light from the projector, as if remembering peaceful moments they once held. The keeper pauses, often not out of hesitation, but out of attentiveness, sensing the exact moment when the light should linger a little longer on a drifting shape, or release it gently into the night. There is no rush in the keeper's movements, because time here does not demand speed. Time bends itself around care. Outside, the snow continues to fall, and the keeper senses how each snowflake glistens as it drifts downward, how the valley receives the light like a whispered lullaby. Animals sleeping beneath the snow-covered trees feel the influence without waking, their dreams deepening, their bodies resting more fully. Even the frozen stream beneath its layer of ice seems to rest more peacefully, its silent flow comforted by the presence of the glow. The keeper understands that sleep is not merely the absence of waking, but a delicate state that must be held gently, like a fragile flame protected from wind. That is why the keeper remains vigilant even in stillness. If the night were to grow uneasy, if distant storms or unseen worries were to ripple through the darkness, the keeper would sense it immediately, guiding the projector to respond with images that slow the mind and steady the heart. Floating lights would move more slowly, stars would glow more softly, and the golden warmth would deepen, wrapping the night in reassurance. The keeper's work is subtle, but it is constant, and it has been carried out for longer than memory itself. Long ago, when travelers rested beneath the glowing window, the keeper watched over them, easing their dreams and smoothing their thoughts, ensuring that morning would arrive with clarity and calm. Now, even though the valley is empty of footsteps, the keeper continues, knowing that rest is never wasted, that peace offered into the night always finds its way where it is needed most. The castle, under the keeper's guidance, becomes more than stone and tower. It becomes a quiet guardian, standing between restlessness and rest, between darkness and comfort. The glow in the window is not a signal or a warning, but a promise silently kept night after night. As this understanding settles gently into the scene, the presence of the keeper becomes as natural as the falling snow, as expected as the coming of night itself. Nothing changes. Suddenly, nothing needs to. The light remains steady, the valley remains quiet, and the keeper continues its watch, unseen but deeply felt. And as you rest with this image, as your own thoughts slow and soften, you may sense the same gentle guidance at work within you, encouraging calm, releasing tension, and inviting sleep to arrive naturally. The keeper does not demand that sleep come quickly, it simply makes space for it, holding the night open and warm until rest chooses to settle in from this quiet center. The story flows onward, deeper into the listening snow and the sleeping world, carrying with it the calm assurance that nothing is rushed, nothing is forgotten, and the glow will continue as long as the night needs it, guiding you gently toward the next part of the dream. As the keeper of quiet dreams continues its silent watch from where the third part gently faded, the calm presence within the castle begins to spread outward, more noticeably, not as light alone, but as a deep listening stillness that reaches into the snowy valley itself. The glow in the high window remains soft and steady, yet now it feels as though the snow, the air, and even the silence have begun to respond, as if the world outside the castle has learned how to listen in return. Snowflakes drifting through the night no longer fall randomly, they slow, slightly spacing themselves gently, as though aware that haste is unnecessary here. Each flake turns lastly as it descends, catching the golden light for a brief moment, before settling quietly into place, adding to the soft layers that cushion the valley. The snow does not resist the cold, nor does it struggle against gravity. It accepts the night fully, and in doing so, it becomes part of the calm the keeper protects. The valley itself seems to breathe differently now, its wide open space expanding and contracting in a slow, comforting rhythm that mirrors deep sleep. Trees stand taller, but softer, their branches relaxing under the snow's weight. Rather than straining against it, even the wind changes its behavior, no longer sweeping or pressing forward, but moving in gentle sighs that drift through the pines and fade before reaching the castle walls. The keeper senses this response and adjusts, nothing, knowing that the night has begun to hold itself. The projector continues to cast its quiet images through the glowing window, and now those images seem to settle into the snow rather than pass over it. Shapes of light stretch gently across the valley floor, dissolving into warmth before they can ever become distinct. These shapes are not meant to be seen clearly, they exist at the edge of awareness, where the mind loosens its grip and allows rest to deepen. The snow receives them willingly, reflecting their softness upward, so that the sky itself seems calmer, darker, in a comforting way, like a blanket pulled gently higher. Somewhere beneath the snow, small creatures sleep, curled into nests and burrows their breathing slow and steady. The keeper feels each rhythm, each tiny heartbeat, and ensures the glow remains perfectly balanced, neither intruding nor withdrawing. The castle stands unmoving, yet it feels more alive than ever, not through motion, but through attention. The stones that form its walls hold centuries of winter nights within them, and tonight they seem to hum faintly with recognition, as though remembering every moment. They have watched over the valley in silence. The keeper drifts through the castle's interior, not traveling from room to room, but existing everywhere at once, sensing the slightest change in the night's tone. If a distant cloud passes over the moon, dimming the sky just a touch more, the keeper allows the glow to deepen slightly, offering reassurance without announcement. If the stars emerge more brightly, the light softens in response, stepping back so the night can shine on its own. This quiet conversation between light and darkness continues without interruption, a balance refined over countless nights. Outside, the snow listens not with ears, but with presence. It absorbs, sound softens movement, and gently erases sharp edges from the world. Footsteps would vanish here, within moments, memories fading into smooth white stillness. The keeper understands the importance of this erasure, knowing that rest often requires letting go, allowing the marks of the day to disappear beneath something softer. The glowing window does not resist this process. It supports it, warming the snow just enough to make it welcoming rather than cold. The valley becomes a place where nothing presses forward, where nothing demands attention, where even thoughts seem to slow as they drift across the mind like clouds across the night sky. The projector's images continue their gentle cycle, floating shapes and quiet glimmers that encourage the mind to wander without effort. They resemble memories that no longer need to be examined, dreams that do not need interpretation. The keeper ensures that each image fades before it can become sharp, allowing it to dissolve into feeling rather than form. This is how the snow learns to listen, by receiving without holding, by reflecting without clinging. The frozen stream beneath its cover of ice rests more deeply. Now its silent movement slowed by the calm settling above it. The keeper senses the steady flow beneath the surface and allows it to continue, understanding that rest does not mean stopping completely, but moving gently without struggle. The castle's glow reaches even here, not warming the ice, but reassuring it, allowing the water beneath to flow without urgency. The entire valley exists in a state of quiet agreement, each element fulfilling its role. Without effort or resistance, the keeper pauses its attention for a moment, sensing the world beyond. The valley, distant places where sleep may be uneasy, where minds may be restless. The glow does not travel there as light, but as influence, as a subtle easing carried on the shared fabric of night. The keeper knows that calm does not need distance. To move, it simply needs space, and space has been made here. The snow continues to fall, layer upon layer, building not height, but softness. Each new layer presses gently on the one beneath it, creating a sense of being held rather than buried. The keeper feels satisfaction, not as emotion, but as balance achieved. Nothing more is needed. Nothing must change. The castle glows because the night is listening, and the night listens because it feels safe. As this fourth part settles into stillness, the image remains unchanged, yet deeper, like a breath held comfortably at the bottom of an exhale. The snow, the valley, the castle, and the unseen keeper exist together in perfect quiet cooperation. And as you rest within this scene, your own thoughts may feel lighter, less defined, drifting gently like snowflakes through warm light. There is no need to follow them, no need to hold them. The world is listening for you now, just as the snow listens to the glow, and the keeper continues its calm watch, guiding everything gently toward deeper rest. As the story prepares to move onward into the next part of the night, as the deep listening stillness of the valley continues from where the fourth part gently settled, a quiet understanding begins to rise, not suddenly, but slowly, like warmth spreading through a cold room. The snow remains calm, the castle steady, and the glow in the high window unwavering. Yet now, there is a sense that the reason for all of this peaceful balance is ready to be felt more clearly. The keeper of quiet dreams remains present, attentive, but unobtrusive, allowing the night itself to reveal the truth of the castle's purpose. The castle was never meant to be impressive or commanding. It was never built to dominate the valley or to stand as a symbol of power. From its very first stone, it was shaped with intention, designed as a place where rest could exist fully and without interruption. Long ago, when the world beyond the valley moved faster and louder, when nights were often broken by worry and unease, this place was created as a response, a gentle answer to a restless age. The builders understood something simple and profound: that silence, when protected, becomes healing. The castle's walls were laid not only to keep out cold and wind, but to hold calm within them. Its towers were raised not to watch for enemies, but to observe the sky, the stars, and the slow rhythm of night. Every corridor, every arch, every window was positioned to soften sound and slow movement, guiding anyone who entered into a quieter way of being. At the heart of the castle, the projector was placed with great care. It was never intended to be a spectacle. Its light was designed to be felt rather than noticed, to reach beyond the stone walls and into the wider world. Without ever demanding attention, the keeper present even then guided its creation, ensuring that it would respond not to commands, but to need. The projector learned the language of night from the very beginning, attuning itself to the subtle signals of restlessness and peace that pass through the darkness. It does not shine because it is told to. It shines because the night calls for it. Over countless winters, the castle fulfilled its purpose. Quietly, travelers came and went, some staying for a night, others only passing through the valley. But all were touched in small, almost unnoticeable ways by the calm the castle offered. Their sleep grew deeper, their worries loosened. They carried this softness with them when they left, spreading it unknowingly into the world beyond. Even when the valley grew empty and footsteps faded into memory, the castle did not lose its purpose. The keeper understood that rest is always needed. Even when no one is there to name it, the glow continued night after night, responding to the rhythms of the natural world, the animals, the snow, the sky, and the distant hum of human thought far beyond the horizon. The purpose of the glow is not to light the darkness, but to be with it. Darkness is not treated as something to be chased away, but as a necessary part of rest, a space where the mind can release its hold. The golden light exists to soften the edges of that darkness, to make it feel safe and held. The keeper maintains this balance carefully, knowing that too much light would disturb sleep, while too little would leave the night feeling empty. This delicate balance is the castle's true work, and it is carried out with patience and trust. As the snow continues to fall, the castle's purpose becomes visible in the way the valley rests so completely. Nothing feels unfinished, nothing feels tense. The world here is not waiting for morning with impatience, but welcoming the night as something valuable in itself. The glow in the window does not promise change or action, it promises continuity, the assurance the rest will be protected until it has done its work. The keeper senses this fulfillment and remains quietly satisfied, not through emotion, but through harmony. The projector's images grow even gentler. Now their movements slower, their presence more subtle. They resemble the moments just before sleep deepens when thoughts lose. Their sharpness and blend into one another, floating shapes merge and dissolve, encouraging the mind to let go of the need to follow any single idea. The light spreads evenly without focus, allowing everything it touches to settle naturally. The castle itself seems to exhale its ancient stones, releasing any remaining tension they may have held outside. The snow rests in perfect stillness, each layer supporting the next. Without pressure, the wind has nearly disappeared, reduced to a faint presence that reminds the valley it is alive, but not restless. The sky stretches wide above, dark and calm, holding the stars like quiet companions. Rather than distant points of light, the keeper remains aware of the wider world, but no longer feels the need to reach outward here in this valley. The purpose has been fulfilled completely. The castle glows because rest has been honored, because silence has been protected, because the night has been allowed to exist without interruption. This understanding does not arrive as a realization, but as a gentle acceptance that settles into everything it touches as this fifth part comes to rest. The scene remains unchanged, yet enriched by meaning. The glow, the snow, the castle, and the keeper exist together in quiet agreement, each fulfilling its role without effort. And as you remain with this image, you may feel a similar sense of completion within yourself, a feeling that nothing more is required of you right now. There is no need to solve anything, no need to prepare for what comes next. The night is enough, the rest it offers is enough. The castle continues to glow, not as a signal, but as a steady presence, holding space for sleep to deepen fully as the story gently prepares to move toward its final peaceful conclusion. As the quiet fulfillment of the castle's purpose continues, from where the fifth part gently settled, the night begins to move toward its deepest, most restful point, not with any visible change, but with a soft inward turning, as though the world itself is preparing to sleep more fully. The glow in the high window remains, but it has subtly transformed. It is no longer something that reaches outward with intention. Instead, it rests within itself, calm and complete, like a thought that has finished speaking and now exists only as feeling. The keeper of quiet dreams senses this shift immediately, not as an instruction, but as a natural conclusion to the night's work. There is nothing left to adjust, nothing left to balance. Everything is already where it needs to be. The projector continues to glow, but its images slow even further, becoming almost indistinguishable from the warmth they cast. Shapes dissolve before they fully form, encouraging the mind to stop observing and simply rest. The golden light softens, deepening into a gentle hush that blends seamlessly with the darkness rather than standing apart from it. Outside, the snow has nearly stopped falling. What remains drifts lazily, each flake moving, as if guided by a shared understanding that it is time to settle. The valley lies wrapped in layers of quiet, each one cushioning the next, creating a sense of being held completely. Trees no longer shift or sigh, the wind has faded into absence. Even the distant sky seems closer now, lowering itself gently over the world like a protective cover. The castle stands unchanged, yet it feels lighter, as though it has released the last trace of effort and now exists purely as presence. The keeper drifts into stillness as well, not leaving, not sleeping, but resting within the balance it has maintained all night. This is the moment when the glow no longer needs to guide or reassure. Sleep has arrived on its own, deep and steady. The keeper understands that this is not an ending, but a pause, a resting place that will last until the night slowly gives way to morning. The castle does not need to prepare for that moment yet. For now, it remains devoted to stillness. The glow dims just slightly, not fading, but settling inward like a breath gently released. The window remains warm, but its light no longer reaches far into the valley because it no longer needs to. The comet offered has already taken root everywhere it was required. The snow reflects only the faintest hint of gold now, enough to remind the world that it is watched over, but not enough to disturb its rest. Beneath the snow, the earth sleeps. Beneath closed eyelids, dreams deepen. Time stretches so gently that it becomes almost invisible. The castle returns to its quiet watch, content in the knowledge that its purpose has been fulfilled once more. And as the night holds this peaceful stillness, the story itself begins to soften its words, slowing its meaning, becoming less something to follow and more something to feel. There is nothing more you need to imagine, nothing more you need to understand. The glowing castle does not ask for attention, it simply remains steady and kind, just as rest remains available to you now. As you listen, you may notice your own body growing heavier, more relaxed, supported by whatever surface you are resting on. Your breathing may feel slower, deeper, easier. Thoughts that once felt important can drift away without effort, like snowflakes settling quietly into place. You do not need to hold onto this story. You do not need to remember every detail like the projector's images. It is meant to fade gently, leaving behind only calm. The castle will continue to glow in the snow, night after night, whether it is remembered or not, because its purpose does not depend on being seen. And now, as this final part comes to rest, allow yourself to do the same. Let the silence hold you. Let the darkness feel safe. Let sleep arrive naturally without hurry or resistance. If your eyes close, that is perfect. If your thoughts drift, that is perfect too. The story has done its work. The castle is watching. The night is kind, and you are free to rest now. Good night. Sleep deeply.